All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're finally here, finally to our first Halo Infinite tournament. If you're looking where I'm at and you're like, where are you? Why are you not at the tournament? I ended up getting sick over the weekend, and then I ended up having to get a COVID test as usual for the event. They required COVID testing, and my COVID testing come back to today. And guess what? It was negative. So I literally could have went. I had everything planned to go and a lot of things just to show up. However, that did not end up happening. I was not able to get a COVID test before the first day, and it come back before the first day. It was just unfortunate, but it's okay. It's all good. At least this gives me a chance to scout and to look at everything that's going on and survey the landscape and to just kind of feel it out, and I kind of enjoy being at home, being able to still do all of my stuff, take notes and everything, even though it would have been nice to meet some of the players, talk to some of the players, and do some scouting in the event and in Raleigh. I have to do it from home now. So today we're going to talk about my predictions. You're probably already watching HCS Raleigh as it's going on right now, so some of these predictions may be wrong. I may be a little bit late. I'm sorry. I was up late last night playing the campaign and multiplayer. And yeah, I'm sorry. It is what it is. So let's talk about these things. Let's talk about these matches. Let's talk about my predictions, and let's talk about what I think is going to unfold over the coming days and what's going to happen in some of these matches throughout the tournament. All right, so first things first, here is the schedule that Snipe Down ended up tweeting out. He went through the whole broadcast schedule about what's going to happen. This is not open bracket play. This is not talking about open bracket play, so obviously that's not going to be here. We'll talk about that in a second. This is just for the pro teams, for the people who made it into group play. They can still get matched up with open bracket teams. Open bracket teams will get matched up with them once you get to the actual tournament. But for now, we'll stick to talking about the pro teams. I wanted to talk about some of the matchups here. The 230 matchup, or excuse me, the 345 matchup is absolutely stacked. Please, if you can, try and get around to watching FaZe Clan and Navi, Cloud9 and XSET, and E United Oxygen. I mean, all three of these matchups right here are really, really good. It kind of sucks, to be honest with you, because Optic doesn't really have that heavy hitter. Right now, I'm saying that because right now we don't know, right? We actually don't know who's a heavy hitter and who's not. According to basically, this is the first land, so please take that with a grain of salt. But right now, Optic Gaming doesn't have that heavy hitter where they're going to play some team that you're like, they can really push them. Other than Pioneers. Pioneers is a really good squad, and I did end up playing them in the HCS, and they're really good, but I don't think they're going to give Optic too much troubles. They scrim a lot, they play a lot, and I've seen VODs on that, and I just don't think Optic's going to get pushed by Pioneers. But I could be wrong. We'll have to see. Other than that, man, I kind of wanted to go through and give you guys my matchups and what you guys should be watching and who you should be paying attention to. The first thing is XSET versus Space Station. This is a really good matchup. It's obviously pretty much the only matchup you really want to watch in the first bracket, or the first block, excuse me. The second one you want to watch is definitely Cloud9 and Space Station. Again, another really good matchup that I feel like you guys will enjoy. Cloud9 is superb. One of the best teams in the region, if not the best team in the region, according to some, after the way they've been playing in HCS, but we'll have to wait and see. I don't know why you would have them over Optic, but there are some fans out there and some people out there who think Cloud9 is the best in the region. Next matchup, I'll have to say at 230 will be G2 versus Navi. I think Navi's a really, really good team coming out of Europe. We don't know if they're the best team coming out of Europe. Pretty much haven't won anything too crazy in HCS, but I think this will be a chance to show it. I think LAN is a whole nother ball game when you compare it to online in any video game, but especially in Halo and games like Call of Duty because of the tick rates. And so this is a little bit different. It's going to be, a little bit of a change of pace, a little bit of more skill, I guess you would say. A little bit more skill. I mean, a lot more skill. So please check that out. We'll see how the EU teams show out, but I'm still NA gang. So, NA, it is what it is, man. NA gang. Moving on, 345, I got FaZe Clan versus Navi. I think FaZe Clan versus Navi is going to be an absolute banger, but that Cloud9 and XSET game is also going to be really good. We'll have to see how XSET plays against Space Station, because when I checked a minute ago, they weren't doing too hot. However, that was just one map. We'll have to see how that unfolds. And then at 5 o'clock, I have to say Ascend and Space Station are going to be a really, really good matchup. I would also recommend you guys go ahead and checking out Pioneers and Chiefs, or Divine Mind and G2 Esports. I want to get you guys a whole slew of different regions. Australia can wield a really, really good team, and we'll have to see how they end up playing out. They've had good teams in the past, but they haven't been dominant. But I still want to see if those boys and girls, maybe if they have a girl, I don't know. Australia can play really, really good, and they can just hang with the boys and the dogs over here in NA. All right, moving on. Next thing I have to say is FaZe Clan versus G2 right here. Big heavy hitter. And that's pretty much all I have to say. Again, you can watch the Optic versus Pioneer games as well in Cloud9 and Ascend is also really nice for you guys to check out. Now, if you guys want to hear my bracket playlist, or not my playlist, excuse me, my bracket picks and everything I think going on, we'll have to wait till the brackets come out, of course. Again, if you come out of the open brackets, you're going to get seeded into the championship bracket. And again, we'll talk about all of that when the championship bracket gets set, either tomorrow or later on tomorrow, one of them. I mean, either way, that's pretty much what's going to have to happen. It's tomorrow. I'm pretty sure everything's going to be played out by tomorrow. But if you guys want to check out all of this, you guys can check it out at haloesports.fandom.com. Check out everything going on right here. But I have to go ahead and make my predictions. And again, with my Valorant predictions, I was very wrong, but I have to state this. This is my opinion. This is solely my opinion. I try to stay objective, but this is the first land. I don't know who's going to win this thing. I have no clue. That's the beauty of this, and that's the beauty of Halo, because sometimes you just don't know what kind of teams are going to come out of what, all right? We don't have Sentinels in here. Sentinels is coming out of the open bracket. We're going to have to see how their run looks in the open bracket, how they play in the open bracket, and who they even get matched up with in the bracket play at all. So whoever they get matched up with bracket play, that's going to be, have fun. All right, so out of the first group, in Group A, I obviously have Optic Gaming, and I'm going to have to go Pioneers. I've played Pioneers, really solid team, bunch of good people, really love to see them play. Their rotations are very, very solid. They can get outslayed. They will have a tendency to kind of dip in the Slayer category. We were able to hang with them for a little bit, and I definitely think Pioneers has a lot to work on in that regard. So we'll see how they play that, but definitely Optic Gaming's coming out of this, in my opinion, and I think Pioneers will come out of Group A. I think it's pretty handedly, not really much to discuss there. Coming out of Group B, this is probably the hardest group in my opinion, probably other than Group D. I think Group D is the hardest one if you actually look from top to bottom, but Group B is also really, really stacked. FaZe Clan, G2, and Nautis Vincere. I'm really hoping that Snipe Down gets out of groups, right? I am predicting they get out of groups, so I'm going to go ahead and just say FaZe Clan off the rip just because Snipe, right? Not just because of Snipe, because I feel like they have a good team, but I think Snipe is going to make sure that that team gets out of groups. I don't think Snipe's never, ever gotten out of groups. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure he's gotten out of groups pretty much every time. So I'm going to rock with my boy Snipe Down and say the veteran's going to get them out of that. And then I'm going to have to rock with G2 here. I think G2 is going to be able to pull this out. I've seen a couple of their games, a couple of their scrims, and definitely a couple of their HCS tournament play. However, I'm not really confident in G2. I'm really not confident in Nautis Vincere either. So it's going to be hard to see how they duke it out. And then Divine Mind, you know, I think you're just going to get the short end of the stick, my guy. There's going to be an upset somewhere in here, but I don't think it's going to be in Group B. I have to be honest with you. Moving on to Group C. E United, Oxygen, Quadrant, and the boys. This is where I think the upset's going to come from. I'm going to rock with the boys. I've seen the boys play pretty much a couple of times, and I have to say, they the boys. All right, they the boys. I'm picking you guys to come out this group and upset either Oxygen or Quadrant. I could be wrong here. Excuse me. You know, some of you guys are going to get upset, but I think the boys are going to come through. I've seen some of their footage, the way they rotate the map, the way they play oddball, the way that they just control the flow of Slayer. I really like it, and capture the flag is also something that can be tucked in their back pocket, especially on a few maps that I won't break down just yet, but I like the way they play it, and I think they'll be able to pull that out pretty, I wouldn't say handedly. I don't think any upset will ever be handedly, but, you know, unless you're crew, right? Unless you're crew in Valorant. But I got E United and I got the boys. I think that's pretty easy. I definitely think E United's coming out of this for sure, but I definitely got the boys. It'll just remain to be seen how Oxygen and Quadrant play. It really will remain to see because, again, man, they can be wishy-washy sometimes. We'll have to see. Again, first land. Anything can happen. And last but not least, we have Group D. To me, this is the hardest group/division. The group of death. My goodness, so many good teams. Maybe I'm a little biased because Ascend just won Valorant, so every time I see Ascend, I'm like, ooh, best team in the world. Not the best team in the world. This is Halo. This isn't Valorant, okay? But still, I still think Ascend always has the possibility of wielding a really good team. They have a really good organization over there, and I think Ascend, just being the name Ascend right now, is really just gravitational, and I feel like they can ride that momentum of another team really being as good as they are. But again, different esport, different context. Right here, I'm going to rock with Cloud9 for sure. Go ahead and make that a scratch. I'm going to say Cloud9 is coming off this group for sure. They have been one of the best teams in HCS coming so far. I think they're going to be really, really, really good. And I have to say, man, I'm really looking forward to seeing how they play. And then last but not least, I'm going to have to say Space Station. I think Space Station is just really one of the better players, or excuse me, one of the better teams. I love Tylenol. I think Tylenol has been one of the best players that I've watched recently. He's been playing very, very well. He rotates throughout the map, plays Slayer extremely well, and his capture the flag IQ to really drop it and kind of slay around it is really nice. We got to play against them in open bracket as well, and I really, really thought it was a good pickup to be able to play against them, and really a good information boost for me when we played against them in HCS, and I thought, like I said, they're just really, really, really good. Deciding Tusk, all great players, and then of course everybody knows Elamite or Ace, really great player in and of himself. Just top of the line, big dog, top of the line. Here is the open bracket. Again, you guys can check all of this at Esports Engine Halo Championship HCS. The link is up here. You guys can go ahead and just click that, type that in as you see fit. Obviously, we have Mind Freak with the #1 seed coming in the open bracket. And there's a bunch of teams that we could go through here, and I pretty much see a bunch of them. I've met them before. Obviously, you have Sentinels in here. I'm obviously picking Sentinels to come out of the open bracket with the pick of a Formal. It's almost like they didn't even lose anybody, right? The Formal really, like I said, isn't a step back at all. But still, again, Sentinels will make that run through the losers bracket. Not losers bracket, excuse me, open bracket. Team War, another really good team that I really think will claw their way out. I won't make too many predictions on this, to be honest with you. I gotta say, if I had to pick a couple teams, it would be Sentinels. I think Mind Freak might come out of this as well, and maybe War. I don't really see any team, or Antimatter. Antimatter is really good. You got Status Quo as well over there with Flame Sword and the boys. I really think that we'll have a couple of teams that'll come out of this. I don't like picking open brackets because there's just too much stuff that can go on in the open brackets. But if I had to pick a few teams, obviously Sentinels, Mind Freak would top my list. I think they'll be there. And then I'll have to say Antimatter and Status Quo will be the teams that come out of this open bracket. We'll have to see. I'm really, really looking forward to seeing what happens. I've played Velocity Halo as well. We played them in a couple tournaments. They're really solid. The matchup between Antimatter and Velocity Halo is going to be crazy to say the least. I can't wait to see that. I really can't wait to see that matchup. Hopefully I'll be able to check out some open bracket gameplay and see how these open bracket teams are playing. But again, ladies and gentlemen, those are my picks. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? We have all the brackets. Everything is going on right now as we speak. Again, this video is going up a little bit late. Excuse me for that. But again, I was up playing Halo last night because, you know, I want to play Halo like the rest of you guys, all right? Much love, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching this. We'll have VOD breakdowns and a lot of discussions over throughout the weekend. I will be gone from Saturday to Tuesday, so if you don't see a video, that is why. Pay attention to me on Twitter. I will be tweeting about this event. I will be posting about this event, and when I get back, we will do a podcast about this event, and we'll go and talk about everything that happened in very, very long detail. Can't wait to talk to you guys when we get back and everything that happens. Exciting weekend, man. Exciting weekend. Sad I couldn't be there, but it is what it is. And I'm just glad Halo Esports is back. Ladies and gentlemen, let's kick off to a good year and let's have some fun, right? This is what it's about. Let's have some fun. Bless up. As always, God bless. And I'll see you guys in the next Halo Infinite Esports video.